The Callisto Protocol, as Dead Space's spiritual successor, is so far more than living up to its hype. It's a survival horror game from Dead Space creator Glen Schofield. The Callisto Protocol release date is December 2, 2022, is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. It's a great time to be a horror fan. If you like horror fiction games, then this game is going to make you experience the scary, horrifying, gory gameplay. With upcoming releases like Resident Evil 4 Remake, The Quarry, which is already released, and the Dead Space remake, there are plenty of scary games has been releasing. One arguably overlooked upcoming spooky game is the Callisto Protocol, which aims to be a spiritual successor to Dead Space. During the June 2022 State of Play event, the Callisto Protocol got a new gameplay trailer, showing the game in action for the first time, along with the long-awaited release date. What will this game be like and when will it come out? Here's what you need to know. This intergalactic survival horror tale takes place 300 years in the future. Set in 2320, this adventure is set on a Jupiter moon humankind has never set foot on, Callisto. The game revolves around horrific creatures and a conspiracy unfolding on the moon Callisto's dingy and dangerous black iron prison. Callisto's protagonist is known as Jacob Lee, who has the ability to push and pull objects. The official Twitter account also revealed that Jacob will be played by Transformers actor Josh Duhamel. The game challenges players to escape the maximum security black iron prison and uncover its terrifying secrets, states the game's official site. A blend of horror, action, and immersive storytelling. The game aims to set a new bar for horror in interactive entertainment. Characters' health and other important information will be displayed via your protagonist's avatar, through their suit, gun overlays, etc. You can see this HUD in the trailer, which is on the prisoner's neck. Initially, the Callisto Protocol occupies the same fictional timeline as PUBG. The reason behind this? Callisto Protocol is published by the company behind the Battle Royale sensation. However, in May 2022, Schofield went on to clarify in a tweet that this is no longer the case. In the statement, Schofield said that Callisto is its own story and world, that no longer takes place in PUBG universe, explaining that the upcoming horror had grown into its own world. Schofield said during the same Q&A that he wants the Callisto Protocol to be the most terrifying game of all time, which is an incredibly ambitious undertaking, given we live in a world with games like Visage, Silent Hill 2, Murder House, Alien Isolation, and indeed the original Dead Space. This is the studio's first game, but you wouldn't be able to tell based on what has been shown so far in the trailer. Krafton will serve as publisher for this project, best known for working on PUBG. Interestingly, the Callisto Protocol was initially set in the PUBG universe, but it then spun out into its own world. The game sends players to Jupiter's dead moon, the titular Callisto, during the year 2320. In it, you play as Jacob Lee, a cargo ship pilot trapped inside Black Iron Prison. Your goal is to escape the prison while uncovering the dark truth behind the United Jupiter Company. The game will blend survival horror mechanics with third-person shooting, just like Dead Space. You'll need to scrounge for resources while exploring the deadly Black Iron Prison, all while surviving against the terrifying enemies known as biophages. Protagonist Lee will have access to a wide variety of weapons like a pistol, shotgun, or baton, along with a gravitational device that allows him to push and pull objects. It's got your heavy, thudding protagonist, malformed alien-human hybrids lurking in poorly lit space hallways, high-recoil firearms for blasting off enemy extremities. The Callisto Protocol is very much one of those, down to the gruesome death animations. The Callisto Protocol definitely seems heavy on the third-person combat, in both melee and shooting flavors, and with all the splattered viscera you'd expect. Hacking off limbs is a valuable tactical option, as is hurling enemies into environmental hazards using a gravity weapon called the Grip. Grip gun is a form of gravity gun that pulls Callisto Protocol's enemies toward Jacob in an almost stunned force before allowing the monsters to be hurled brutally into any obstacles in the way. This includes walls, desks, and even giant fans that appear throughout the gameplay trailer. What other attacks and features the Grip has remains to be seen, but from the little revealed, it appears it will be a force to be reckoned with. With combat alternating between melee and long range and the introduction of a power grip gravity gun, players can assume a fluid, dynamic combat system that will brutally destroy the mutants within. The Callisto Protocol appears to involve switching between melee and long-range fighting with artillery, get up close and personal with his enemies, delivering powerful blows to repel and stun them. The long-range fire appears standard. However, it's easy to see how fast these beasts can multiply and swarm. Lastly, a unique grip gun allows Jacob to transition between his weapons easily. The Callisto Protocol certainly bears a resemblance to Dead Space and is directed by Glen Schofield, whose previous credits include Dead Space. It also has much in common with God of War 2018. Schofield has stated that he hopes to present the Callisto Protocol as the scariest game in its genre, focusing on keeping it grounded in as much realism as possible to truly up the scare factor. Jupiter's moon Callisto has been summarized to contain an ocean of water beneath its surface, and Schofield felt those facts served as an excellent basis for the story setting. As of now, this is all we know about the game so far. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoy the contents here, please consider subscribing and click the bell icon for future notifications, and leave your comments below on this game. As we appreciate your time watching our contents, we will reply to all the comments and your questions. As always, thank you for watching. See you guys on the next video. Cheers.